All right, we are live. Friday, 3:08, March 8th, daylight savings this weekend, guys. Welcome to the chat Friday Live. I wasn't able to shave this week, so I apologize. And the more this happens, the more I realize I'm getting old because I get some white in my beard. But so is life. So welcome everybody. I got a couple house cleaning things left for you guys before we kind of get started and bring our special guest, repeat guest, on today, which is pretty cool. So Team Zoot, I know you guys are asking a lot of stuff. Partners, now we're gearing into the tri season, and people are buying stuff, right? And we have a lot of really cool team partners. And if you don't know who your team partners are, please go to teamzoot.com, check them out if you guys are in the market for anything. And I sent an email back. Your guys' team discount list is on a PDF that we update. So when a partner changes a code, I know some of you guys are asking, and I see it in your Facebook private chats, but if you guys are looking for a saddle, head wheels, whatever you want, and you're not sure how to go it, please go there first. Look at the PDF and see how to grab that discount if you guys are looking for something. Your Rudy glasses are coming soon, the custom Team Zoot colorway. I will reach out to Chris at Rudy Project next week to get an update on that. They should be coming. Team Zoot exchanges. I know Quinn, Carrie's kid's been working diligently, so big shout out to Quinn. Please show him some love. The kid's super busy right now trying to do all these exchanges for you guys. And exchange window closes on the blah, 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 blah. I want to say it's the 15th. So just a few more days for that. So get those exchanges in if you guys want. And then right after exchange windows closes, we are going to open the summer series on April 2nd. And just to show you guys, we shot some today. This is John and Christina. The summer series, of course, it's just a training kit, cycle and run. And it was a good day. It was a nice day today. So if you guys want to, well, now my computer's running slow, so you can't see it. But those will come, and yeah, that's it. So be on the lookout for that. Our email will come out. So without further ado, Kevin Driscoll. Shout out to Kevin for dominating the BWR. Yeah, that was a finisher pick from Arizona, and I was much behind you, but I saw the cameraman, so I got out of the saddle, started trying to look like gnarly for just a minute. But without further ado, what's up, Ashley? We have BiSaddle on today, and thankfully for you guys, Tyler from BiSaddle is on the road and he can't make it. So we got actually like a cooler guest, and guy's super knowledgeable. He's a professional athlete, and he is the head of the Real Triathlon Squad. So we're going to talk about BiSaddle. We're going to welcome Nicholas Chase to the podcast, Facebook Live, whatever you want to call this thing. So please bring your questions. We could start with BiSaddle, but then, you could ask Nick whatever you want to ask him. Talk about the crew. We're really stoked to have this group of athletes under the Zoot banner this year. We're going to have them for a few years, and we're really looking forward to see what they could do. We have Tamara Jewett this weekend racing the T100 in her new kit, which is going to be pretty cool. But without further ado, let's bring Nick to the podcast. What's up, Nick?
Hey, buddy. Thank you for bringing me back. I didn't do too bad last time, I suppose.
Yeah, we got low standards here too. So yeah. You're a good hands.
Fine with me.
Yeah. So thanks for coming on. Let's before we talk about BiSaddle, let's catch up. What's new with you? And maybe I want to go a little bit into the RTS squad even before we talk about BiSaddle, because why not? We're here. There's no rules.
Yeah, the only rules are let's not bore people to death. So I think, real quick, anything with Real Tri Squad, our big kickoff race is Oceanside. So I know you all will be there. We're really excited. I think we'll have 6 of us racing, former winners of Oceanside. Both Jackson and Tamara will be back. So I think it'll be fun. We launched RTSX, our expansion squad, which is a pathway to development, which we've also always wanted to have. Like, how can young talent become high level and have support along the way? Because that's the hardest part, is navigating this very broken industry at times. I mean, broken in terms of, you got a lot of PTO, T100, Ironman. Like, what do you do? I don't know who to work with. So that's what we're doing. And then also we're launching Endurall coaching. I've been coaching for 12 years, and we're finally making it like a big deal. Coaches from the UAE, all over the North American area. So we're trying to make this sport better than we're going to do it.
For sure. And it's, I know I've been doing this for long enough. I know it's a real struggle for you guys, and it's really cool that you guys have some options now as pro athletes, and it's not just like, oh, I got to race Kona to kind of, or the Olympics, right? So you guys have a little bit more, and you could play for it. And I saw who did it? Kathy made a comment. Jackie Herring is racing this weekend too. Yes, we have Tamara, Jackie, Holly Lawrence, Sam Long. We got 4 athletes under the Zoot banner racing this weekend. So it's really exciting. So if you guys don't know who is on the Real Tri Squad, they're all really cool. And special shout out. I know she's not watching this, but I'm going to give some extra love to my favorite Hawkeye, Leslie Smith, because we accidentally cropped her out of the picture that I was informed of on our Team Zoot, or zootsports.com/ our team athlete page. But there's a handful of really cool athletes that you guys have, and it's really exciting to watch and really to follow you guys. I think for me, at least on like social media, on Instagram, to see what you guys are doing and your athletes across the country. And I say favorite Hawkeye for Leslie because my boss also went to Iowa, and she tops him. So you could let her know that that she's
Iowa's doing well. I mean, even when women's basketball is just on fire right now because of Iowa.
It's pretty cool. So basically with the Real Tri Squad guys, and if you guys are watching this later, check them out. They have their own website. They have their own Instagram page. Please follow them. Search for Nick. I mean, I follow all individual and them too. Most of you guys know Lisa Becerra. She was our alt red contact for a long time. She's awesome. She raced the Belgian. Well, she raced the Wana ride on a mountain bike. And I saw her at the very beginning. I was like, "What's up, Lisa?" And she goes, "Oh, hey, Mark." And we're like, it's like I think Kevin could remember this. It was like a 6 mile road climb at the very beginning. And Nick, not my coach, but Nick's like, "Hey, just take it easy and don't blow yourself on the thing." And so I did. And Lisa was on a mountain bike and just smoked me. But she was I tell her like, well, she was doing the 30, and she's a pro triathlete. So of course I was expected to get just dominated, but she's like great people, is really cool. And they have a struggle, right? So if you're not winning races and you're not kind of like in it, these guys are full-time triathletes, and they're really just like, they're having a go at this, like, it's a short window as a pro athlete in any sport, right? We do this because we love it. And I know I posted something a couple of days ago for you guys to check out, but a really great way that you guys could help support these athletes. And I know you race in your Team Zoot kit, and we give you guys some really killer deals on all our Zoot stuff, but we brought these guys into the fold, and they have a really cool design that they're offering to the public. And I strongly encourage you guys to check it out. And if you guys need an extra cycling top, run top, anything, and unfortunately you're not going to be able to use your Team Zoot discount for this, but it's pretty cool. So if you guys, I just posted a link. If you guys go to their custom store, if you need another, this, I know Nick likes this one a lot because I see him riding in it, but it's one of my favorite jerseys too. It's the Sunstop jersey that is kind of really good in like kind of cool temps.
I don't know. I wore that in Cozumel when it was like 85 degrees and a little cloudy, and it was still great because I was like, well, Sunstop, maybe it'll be good for you or SPF.
Yeah, it is. It's that's what it's for. But they have, you know, some thermal hoodies, some run hoodies, some shorts, women's run tees, some women's run shorts, and you know, just to kind of supplement your training gear. You know, women's jackets. You know, and there's, I mean, you could fully kit up if you want, but like, this is an awesome way to support these athletes and help them. You know, do their thing, which is pretty cool. It's another way to kind of show your support for them. So check out the
mainly store. Like if you're on the race course and you're supporting or your family supporting and you see an RTS sweater or someone wearing our stuff, it just is a huge level of motivation. And especially any Zoot outfit will be great, but a hoodie is fine. You know, we love seeing just Real Tri Squad anywhere we can put it. So of course, Thank you so much for pumping that out there, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll get the RTS squad just in Team Zoot stuff, and then, you know, then you'll have a lot of support. I'm just joking.
Yeah. We buy all kinds of stuff from the Team Zoot website as it is, just to rock all along the, you know, wherever we're training.
Yeah, it's really cool. So show them support if you guys want to. They even have some like youth stuff in there, which is really cool. And the design actually looks really good. You'll see it soon enough on Nick and the rest of the RTS crew as the race season starts. I think we got their race suits are going, and the people that are racing soon have their suits, and all the other stuff is in production. So you'll start seeing that stuff on body with Nick and the crew soon. So please check it out and show them some love if you guys can. It's a great way to support them. So all right, Nick. So let's talk about BiSaddle. Okay, so they're a Team Zoot sponsor. They're an RTS sponsor, and you've been riding these for quite some time. So, you know, what's it about? And and I see a lot of like good comments on there, like, oh, I love my BiSaddle, but maybe we could shed some light for triathletes that are not quite cozy.
Yeah, this is an easy sell picture because mainly every athlete out there has experienced some level of saddle trauma. And I say that completely accurate. I mean, we don't have to go TMI here, but some of us have had some situations where really forcing so we can continue to ride while it numbs itself out for 10 minutes before you can finally get into your efforts. Like, it could be a chamois, it could be the detergent you use, anything can kind of irritate your undercarriage, so to speak. But I've ridden probably 30 saddles over the course of my professional career. And just lo and behold, I've lived here for 1 year. And then I figured out BiSaddle is managed, owned, and operated like literally 10 minutes from my house. So I made it a big point to get to know the owner, John Petty, and his son, Brick, and really getting to know why they made this saddle. And it's to fill a hole in the industry. The hole in the industry is that one saddle does not fit every sitting situation. You may need to be a little bit more left on your, or more left of center than your right of center on either side. Or you might need to adjust your touch points, or you might need a little bit wider. So this model right here is one of their brand new ones called the Saint Pro 3D, I think, because it's 3D printed, which is like crazy and durable. Like, you can take a razor blade to this and it won't even cut it. It's so durable. But anyways, they've got a lot of models. They're really developing a brand that I think is, you know, you've got custom goggles, custom measured bikes, everything that is designed for your body. The saddle should be one of those most important points for you to be comfortable for hours. Like, even with our aero bars that we're running, if they're not comfortable, but it's aero as it gets, it doesn't matter, because it's got to be comfortable. That has to start. Anyways, you don't have to buy a bunch of saddles. You buy one saddle that's roughly the area you like, whether it's wide or narrow. The Hurricane Pro is the one I ride on my TT bike, and I ride the Saint Pro on my road and gravel bike because I think this upright position is a little bit more comfortable, where I like a little bit wider on the Hurricane for the TT bike. Anyways, you can adjust the width on the bottom of the saddle, and that's as easy as it gets. There's actually a little bit of a fit system too. You can sit on this little fabricated cardboard, draw some lines, and use a crayon. They send you a way to kind of measure yourself to get you in the right ballpark. They're doing everything they can, and if you don't like it, it's probably because you're not trying hard enough to make this saddle work. And that's kind of my sales pitch. Are you muted, bud? I mean, I can't. I think it's your connection on your headset, because every time you hit it, it gets crackly.
Well, it's budget here, you know.
It does look like Costco.
I know. Well, we spend a lot of money on athletes, so we gotta, I'm working on a budget. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
One of the, they give you like a quick start guide, and one thing I wanted to ask you about the different. You have the Hurricane for your tri bike and the Saint for your road bike. Is that because of the length difference? Because you could get, because you're I know if with the shorter nose on the tri bike, it allows you to get a little bit deeper. Is that correct? Yeah,
the Hurricane is definitely stubbier. It's not as long. These 3D or the printed pads where you sit on they're wider than this. They also have, some OG models too that are what really changed and made a name for themselves. I can't remember all the names of those ones, but they're a little heavier. They're a little bit more bulky. They've got more foam. You can adjust the foam level. I'd say when you first get this saddle, because I saw a comment come in and basically asking how long you should allow to break it in. But I'd say this saddle fit me within a couple adjustments within 2 weeks. And I didn't have any issues. I just had to make sure that I was checking the tightness of the screws at the bottom maybe once a month. Because when you travel so much for racing, you end up tightening everything down a lot anyways. But that's really the only thing. Make sure that, someone said it's adjustable. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's adjustable. It doesn't take long to break in. Not like any other saddle experience, because the saddle's adjusting to you. You're not having to adjust to the saddle. And I think that's probably the best way to put it.
Yeah. And we see it a lot of time on the apparel side as well. We talk about fit quite a bit. And I mean, you know this better than a lot of people, and a lot of the pros, and whether your philosophy, like people have different fit philosophies, right? And sometimes it's like, I've got fits where I'm like, really? Like that was like, you're like, and then some people are like, they hook up all your gizmos. I mean, I've been fit by Ivan O'Gorman, which is like, shout out to Ivan. He's going to be doing some fits out of the Zoot office around Oceanside. And your fit is so dynamic though. So like, depending on your flexibility at the beginning of the season and your fitness, and it changes. And the cool thing about this is it kind of changes along with you. And, being in the apparel business, we have a lot of people that are like, sometimes they like, our cycle bibs, so, you have your cycle bib, which is got a thick chamois. You got your tri bib, which some people prefer. I mean, it's all preference. It's a kind of like a matter of trial and error, right? So the tri chamois is a little bit longer, right? It's got, a little bit more padding up top. There's the fleece, there's the stuff with the carbon in it. There's like all these different things. Plus with your saddle, like it kind of depends on what your preference is. But people sometimes they'll email in and they'll send us a picture of like their kit, and it's like rubbed through, like right on the thigh. And you're like, well, like, it's just, I guess it's only fabric, right? So if you're rubbing, like if you're like moving your hips a ton, or you're rubbing, or something is off when I see that. I'm like, I race in like all our stuff. I train all our stuff, and like, I'm not rubbing holes in our kits. So a lot of the seats too, and people's they're built different. So some people have like wider hips, narrow hips, and so this saddle is really cool. You could adjust and go along with it.
Your thigh gap might change throughout the season as you come out of the winter into the summer, and you can run a little bit narrower. Like, I mean, there's a lot of individuality within each of you, and you need a saddle that can handle it.
Yeah, what's up? Shout out Denise is on here. What's up, Denise? How you doing? Yeah, and it's really cool. And so, what I'll do is like I'll adjust mine. Like my TT bike normally stays on the trainer. Like I don't bust that thing out until like
It's sad.
I know until I need to until I feel like I'm in shape enough to ride it, if that makes sense, which is not that much.
Does that ever happen, Mark?
It never happens. But we usually on Tuesdays, I try to gap the boys,
Downhill?
on the lunch ride downhill. I'm pretty fast downhill, and I'll bring my TT back up. But it normally stays on the trainer, which it doesn't give enough use anyway on the trainer. But it's really cool. It's just like your bike fit. So I saw some questions in there, and like I'll adjust it, and I'll be like, oh, I think that's good, and then like I'll be like, oh, well, maybe I'll see if I'll do a stop and like just tweak it out just a teeny bit and ride another hour and see how that feels, and like kind of play with it. So it within the week or two, you can kind of really dial it into your current thing, which is it's like awesome, instead of like, on the old 2T saddles, you're moving up, you're moving down, you're doing all this stuff. And that 3D printed was pretty rad because it's also really grippy, which is cool.
Yeah. So. And eventually, like, they're all about pushing this even further, like more custom platforms that are more carbon. One thing you do need to remember, if you buy a BiSaddle, and this is a titanium rail setup, right? So it's round. Some of the carbon rails are oval, okay? And that's important because you need to have an oval adapter for some of these, custom bike, or not custom bike, but when you mount it onto your seat tube. And I got one from Richie. It's just a universal oval clamp. So if you go carbon, you'll go oval, and you'll have to make sure that your bike is accepting that. But in the future, they're developing this mounting system to where it mounts statically to whatever platform you have. And the adjustability isn't in the saddle, but it's in the rail system that's on the mount protocol. And it's very narrow. It's very ergonomic. I saw it like a month or two ago, what they're coming out with. And it's even better, and it's more adjustable, and it fits everybody's bike really well. So they're never done, they're engineers at BiSaddle, and that's why everything really adapts pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I was just going to say something. Now I forgot what I was going to say. You're talking about the clamps, and they have a lot of, if you guys go to the website, there's a lot of different versions, right? You get that saddle and the titanium and the steel. Obviously the price point, it changes when you guys get different options. And is that standard, Nick, for the rails? Because other saddles have that too. If it's a carbon rail that it's oval. Yeah. Is there a reason behind that?
It's mainly because structural integrity. A round carbon rail versus an oval rail, the length of it is going to be a weak point in the center. So if it's oval, it's going to be much stronger. So that's mainly why, that it's just probably easier to overlay that way too.
Yeah, that makes sense. What else? Thanks for the call out. Good to know before learning the hard way. Learned something new today. All right. I also saw the Vittoria. If you guys are having, if Stage 21 sold out, just drop them an email. Ask them if they could order some tires for you on discount. So I'm rocking the Vittorias at like 70 psi, which is pretty good. So, yeah. All right. Yeah. Jenna looks like she's got a BiSaddle too. So you think it still feels right? Yeah. It's not a matter of getting used to. It's adjustable. So you tinker it till it feels right. Yeah. Simple enough. Don't overthink stuff, guys. I know a lot of you guys have been like, you're slowly creeping out of the doldrums of your basement, your garage, your trainer setup. And it's really good to kind of like, people are starting to get pumped. We have like the first major race of the season this weekend. You guys are kicking off on Oceanside. I was just talking, I kind of want to talk, and I want you guys to ask any questions to Nick too. If you have them. I mean, he is a professional triathlete. He's not a BiSaddle, guys. If you guys are coming in late, if you don't know who Nick is, he's got the best abs in triathlon.
Yeah, I can't get away from that no matter what I do, but I guess that's fine. I'll keep it.
that usually, yeah, I think you should be stoked on that. And if you don't follow Race Chad on Instagram, if you see his Race Chad, it's classic. Like it's pretty fun. These guys are super serious. They're really fast. They're professionals. They train a lot. Nick is kicking off with Oceanside. And he was telling me right before we started this about he's ready to kick off his big training block. So if you guys have any other questions for a professional triathlete, it's really good that we have him here. So you might as well ask him, because otherwise you're just talking to me. But
Yeah.
you're talking about your big week getting ready for Oceanside. So let's talk about that a little bit. What's a big week for you?
Well, I mean, when am I not having a big week? I don't know. I guess it's all relative. It's usually 26 hours to 30 hours. It's always interesting to talk about a pro's schedule because it's not too different from a competitive age group schedule. It's just a matter of recovery we can insert in there.
Yeah.
It's definitely 5 to 6 days of swimming. Usually the swims are about 5,000 meters. Bike workouts are about 4 hours. And like typically most athletes will have a period where they're working on either lactate tolerance, whether it's like working as long as you can at good intervals that are going to be race adaptive. So for me, it's like riding 20 minutes at 310 to 315 watts. Or it's another phase where it's intensity. We're doing like 5, 6, 7, 8 minuters, building and progression up to 400 plus watts for tolerance. And then the running is always a variable, but I'd say for sure one of the biggest things I've learned this year working with Coach Jim Vance is on your long runs, it's a walk run. Like I'll do 9 minutes of running, 1 minute of walking, or 4 minutes of running, 1 minute of walking for up to an hour to maybe 2 hours. And it's a good way to get volume and take away a lot of the impact that you might be generating with a lot of fatigue throughout the week. Like later in the week, you're tired, your hips are tired, your elasticity's gone, your form's a little bit compromised. So every time you walk, you reset, you can get your form back, you can work on good leg speed. It's an opportunity to just do it better. So that's why I think the program isn't too crazy. There's no magic formula. It's all about how it's working within the stress of your lifestyle, your ability to recover, and not sacrificing everything you need to do for race day so you can go have a good group ride with your friends and throw the plan out the window. I mean, there's a time and place, but within 6 weeks of a race, it's time to hunker down and get ready for it.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about the run walk. Another one of our pro athletes, when she came out here last year and we did it was so cool. I got to do a workout from my house with Ellie Salthouse, who you guys all know, who actually is the one who, put us in contact with Nick Chase and the RTS. We're like, who's cool? That's actually what we asked her. I'm like, because we don't like to deal with, I have to deal with the pro athletes. I don't want to deal with pricks.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who's cool? She's like, dude, you guys should talk to Nick. and so we reached out, but they came out and that was one thing that she did. We did it wasn't that long. We did a 6 mile run from my house. And obviously I didn't run with her. I was on the bike, but she was in a recovery phase and she was doing run walks. And she's like, oh yeah, this thing is awesome. And so it's really cool to see guys and gals at your level that do this and just the way you guys talk. It's funny. You just said, oh, if I'm doing a endurance effort and holding 310 watts or whatever you said for.
No, that's not endurance.
Or whatever. I was like, dude, if I could hold that for 20 minutes, I'd be up there with Kevin Driscoll at the BWR instead of 40 minutes back. But it's really interesting. It's fun to hear you talk about what you guys do, because it's like you said, it's often not far off from the competitive age grouper, but you guys, the difference is you guys are kind of have that knowledge and are keying into when you need to recover and rest.
Well, we also have a team. I've got a strength and conditioning coach, a nutritionist. I work with various professionals in their own realm, rather than reading articles or doing what my friends do or following Instagram advice or bro science. I make sure that my team of support is as strong as the level that the competition I want to go fight against. So I make sure that happens. And I've had a long career. I've been racing professionally for over 10 years, I've done probably 15 or 18 full distance that I don't even really remember. I remember being on the podium a few times during those, but I've had the best part about my career is I've trained with, I can't even count how many world champions in their own level. Like I've had camps with months upon months of training with some of the best athletes in the world and their coaches. So I've been able to pull a lot of really valid nuggets from everybody. And I see that everybody's just a regular person. Everyone's going through financial stuff, life stress, nutritional stuff, body dysmorphia, all the pro athletes that you see in their grand Instagram glory of the best life ever. Everyone's dealing with the same stuff you are. So don't think that we are loving this at all times. It is a job. And sometimes jobs are tough. Sometimes you get a reward and you get a bonus and life is amazing. But as a professional athlete over the last few years, managing and owning teams, like I love the community. I love the lifestyle that it allows us to live and be healthy. But anymore, like the competitive, I got to go to Kona. I've got to be part of the popular crowd. I've got to be the best of the best. Like, I just want to make sure that this sport's in a good place when I retire. And if I can do that, I think that's where most professional triathletes are when they get to, like, I'm 37. I've got probably 3 or 4 more years left of being, I just actually started a YouTube series called Racing for Relevancy. So that just shows you, like, I may not be at the top of the 70.3 game, but I think my long course game is going to be really good. But it's just about trying to stay relevant enough to make a difference.
Yeah, for sure. That's why, I mean, that's why you guys that are listening, you guys on the team are so, it's really it's a cool community, a cool sport. And I say this all the time to our team. It's like it's awesome. And on our team, we have people that go to Kona. They're like top age groupers. Our SoCal captain, Christina, she helped us with the photo shoot today. She's the number 1 female in her age group in the country. And which is really cool. And then we have people that are like, I'm just getting into it. Like, I'm starting. Like, it's both cool, like, don't take yourself so seriously. This is, for us, you guys are making a career out of it. I guess I am too, but like it's when there's a time and place for being uber competitive or just kind of like just cruising, and I think with our our age groupers and a lot of people, pros and age groupers alike, they have this like mentality where they feel like they have to be fit like all year round or like be fit for their whole entire life. And it's really that's unattainable, right?
I carried that burden for many, many years, and it didn't get me really, really good. I was always pretty okay. So varying the level of your fitness throughout the years, you have to accept it.
Yeah, just like, and you got to be like cool with it. Like who cares? And when you like looking at old pictures on Instagram or even like I told one of my friends, he was like a one and done full distance Ironman, and this was back before we had children and we were kind of training a lot. Neither of us were married, and I remember saying, and I had already done one, and I was just like, dude, like, what sucks about this is like you'll never get this again. Like, you're gonna be older. You'll never feel this fit again, and you'll never have this time. So like, enjoy it now, and like also enjoy like sitting back and having a whiskey with Brian, who's on the chat. Like it's both cool and just whatever floats your boat at that moment. Just don't get too hard on yourself for like, oh, I'm not where I want to be for this race. So
okay. So somebody asked, if advice I would give to somebody who was starting.
This is Ashley, team captain, Mid-Atlantic. What's up?
Yeah, if they knew when they were first starting out, I would say that you always need to celebrate a race no matter what. And this is, as a coach, I've also coached for about 13 years with age group athletes and some professionals. And it has always broken my heart when, regardless of the result, it could have been a home run. It could have been amazing, or it could have been just short, or it could have been a DNF. I think the fact that you showed up, you got everything you could there, like you've got to celebrate that moment, because it's really the only time within that 48-hour period of our entire racing lifestyle that we can just be ourselves and be human. The rest of the time, it's always like structure, rigid schedules, deliverables, sleep, nutrition. It's like full on. And there's only a couple days right after an event, whether it went well or whether it went to crap, where you can just be like, I just want to sit on a beach and like put my feet in the sand and enjoy and smile. And even if you have a PR, how many athletes do you know, Mark, who are like, oh yeah, but I wish I didn't do that good on
Dude,
this time. It's like, give yourself
every one of them. I was just like, I'm like, dude, relax. Like you just kicked ass. Have like, be stoked on it. Like who cares? And I say this, you know, and I think I've said it to you, and I'll say it to all of our pro athletes who we pay. And like a lot of them's like, oh, well, you know, it didn't really go as like, dude, like it was cool to see you race. Like it's amazing as an age grouper who does this sport and knows how hard it is, to see what you guys could do as professionals and how hard you go. That's the cool thing that I like about it. And whether you won or you didn't place on the podium, same goes for the age groupers. Like you were there, you were like you were giving it all you got for that day, whether it was like a winning or not. Like it doesn't really matter. I mean, maybe a little bit more for you guys because it's your livelihood, but like really, it doesn't really matter, right? It doesn't as long as you're kind of in the mix and you're doing stuff within the triathlon community. Like I feel like that's more important than winning some race that who cares, right?
Well, no matter what, the people who came there and are surrounded by you, they'll love you no matter what. The fact that you just are doing this, like you will never lose their respect because you're doing something that they're just not, and they love you for that. So don't forget that. And then also, like everyone has one opportunity in the race to have one moment of glory. And that could be any moment of glory. Like I nailed my nutrition, or I nailed the swim start, or I sighted really well, or I didn't trip in transition and make a fool of myself and break my bike and tip all the bikes over. Like there's a lot of wins within triathlon that are worth celebrating. And I think you have to be a fan of sport in general. Just love the fact that there's 1,000 or 2,000 of us out here just doing this thing. And that's unreal to begin with. Like how crazy is it? We all showed up, decided to put our bikes on a rack, run around and swim. And like, that's probably the coolest thing ever.
Yeah, I kind of to piggyback on that thought too. Is like I thought about this today. I'm driving. We have this like big obnoxious Zoot van that we use. Like we take the expos and stuff.
You live in.
Yeah, I know. And I take it for the when we do the photo shoots around here, because it's easy, because the people could change in it, right? So you've done it.
I've changed in that van.
You're changing that van, right? And my kid, when I drive at home, my kids get so stoked. Like Leo's so stoked on the van because it's big. But you know, I think about this a lot, and the identity that we have as triathletes, right? So you know, take our brand, right? Take Zoot Sports, and even whether you're at the airport or you're dropping your kids off at school, or you go into work or something and you have something that says whether it's your Ironman finisher shirt or your Zoot thing that says swim, bike, run, like whether you guys know it or not, like you just being an active participant in this endeavor, whether it's a sprint triathlon, half, full, whatever it is, that you guys are like, oh, that you get up and you swim, bike, and run, you train, you do gravel stuff, you do all these things. Everyone that is surrounding you, whether it's your coworker, your family, the people that you see at school drop off or the coffee shop or whatever, like you guys are all pretty dope in their eyes, whether you know these people or not. Like I guarantee you, they see you and they're like, oh, that's Marty. Like, oh, she's a triathlete. Right? Like that's pretty dope. Like it's pretty cool that we get to do this thing where it gives us a little like, oh, we've done this hard thing all together and we all know what it's like. And even people that are outside of the group could have some kind of resemblance of like, oh, that person's like, it's cool because they've done that. So whether you're at the gym and you're wearing your Ironman shirt or something like that, it's a kind of a cool exclusive club that whether you're podium or you're fast, it doesn't matter. Like I think that the 17-hour Ironman finisher, like that's the hardest thing ever. Way harder than the 9-hour finisher, I think, because you're out there for so long. It's all amazing across the board is my point. So don't lose sight of that. Like whether you're feeling out of shape, you didn't have a really good workout. And I know we say this all the time here, but like, don't like, just have fun with it. It's so cool that you're being able to do this. It's really cool.
I've been wanting to launch this program to kind of just inject some stuff into this sport that not a lot of people know this sport out unless your family members do it, or you just like your road was closed down one day and you were really upset about it because there was a bunch of cyclists out there. I wanted to call it like triathlete for a day, and I wanted to like use it as an opportunity to bring in new people who would have never otherwise strung 3 sports together in this manner. And it's a way to support growth, maybe get some more youth efforts out there. It can be in a pool. Like let's say somebody has access to a body of water, some sort of a pedaled item, and then maybe they've got a shoe they can run or walk in. And if you did like any version of swim, bike, run in that day, I wanted to just send a shirt that just said like I was a triathlete for the day. And I was thinking about trying to get that started, and Team Zoot might be the best place to make those shirts and send it out and create the organization. But that's what one of my big picture items was, to help the sport get new audience.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, maybe we'll have to work that together, and we could use Team Zoot to like have people encourage. I mean, that's one of the things about being on Team Zoot is you got to be cool. That's the only prerequisite. Be cool and introduce the sport to someone new, if possible, right? And that would be maybe we'll kind of noodle on that and work on it.
Don't steal it, but we can go together.
Yeah. Well, I'm still waiting for your T-shirt ideas. You sent me the text message. I got lots, bro. I'm ready for them.
I know you do. We got some punny T-shirts we want to put out there,
guys. For Ocean, so we're gonna have some BiSaddles. So for those of you guys who are watching this now or later that are planning on coming out, I have the list of athletes, and we'll post it on the SoCal page and on this main Team Zoot page. We are going to be having an open house like we did last year. Hopefully our charcuterie board will live up to last year's standards. We're going to have it right before Oceanside, most likely on the Thursday before Oceanside. And hopefully we get some of the pros to kind of mingle with you guys as well on that Thursday. And we're going to be doing some shirts and some cool stuff. So look for that to come. And if you guys want to meet Nick in person and the rest of the RTS crew, they will be in-house, which is pretty awesome. It's a good time to like kind of pick your brain. And that's another cool thing about the sport is like being able to like, okay, Nick's doing an Oceanside as a professional, and you're doing Oceanside, the proverbial you as an age grouper, and you guys get to like be on the same race course at the same time and like race together and get past. Hopefully you're not getting past Nick too much, but by the age groupers. But when you pass them, there's not a lot of other sports where you could do this, where you could like, oh, I'm a basketball player, I'm gonna go play with like LeBron James, right? Like it just doesn't happen. So it's pretty awesome that we get to kind of like.
Well, I also thought sometimes like maybe that takes away from the professionalism, because you can't go race along Max Verstappen on a Formula One track. You just can't, because but anyone can run alongside me and race and say, hey, good job, Nick, you're doing great. But maybe it just humanizes us too much where we're not special anymore.
No, you guys are pretty special. I love it, and if anyone's seen me cheering on race course, it's like I lose my voice. I love seeing you guys race, especially like the Team Zoot athletes and the Zoot pros and stuff. It's so fun. I get so fired up when I see you guys running past, and then my goal is always to try to like crack a smile from you guys. Some of you guys are like super serious. Like some of you pros are like super, super serious. And then some of you guys, like, like the shout outs.
We're just trying to keep the real in triathlon, reminding everybody that. So this is probably going to be controversial in some level. So excuse me if you're.
No, let's bring it. I want to see it. Let's do it. Come on.
One time I heard this quote or it wasn't even a quote. It was just during Dane Cook's comedy special years and years ago, and it was hilarious, and I've never forgotten it. He's like, doesn't matter who you are. It could be Halle Berry. It could be Ryan Gosling. It could be your president. Everyone's going to laugh. Everyone's going to cry, and everyone's going to have painful shits. And he's like, and you need to remember that when you see all these heroes and people, they're just like you in just very subtle ways that you all share in common, but they just racing their lives as a professional triathlete doesn't make them special.
Yeah. And be cool, right? Like, and this is to you professional triathletes watching this. If you're not cool, you're not going to get the love. So be cool. Because there are some athletes that I think take it a little bit too serious, or they seem like they're unapproachable. But for the most part, I mean, everyone I've ever talked to and been around has been super, super cool. And I guess that's probably, one of the funnest things about my job is me being a fan and getting to talk to you guys is pretty cool.
We're lucky to be part of Team Zoot, and thank you all for always building this community. We're just players in this community that you've all built. So no credit taken from us. We're just doing our best to be representative. All
you guys coming late, check this out. Show Nick and the RTS some support. Buy a run tee. Everyone needs a run tee. Check it out, and it helps support them. And
I told Mark we need to make a sports bro for men, because I would wear it. Nope. Not gonna do it.
I don't know about that one, Nick. Like the old '90s, like the early '90s one.
Yeah, like I can't remember that.
Tim Reed? No, Timbo.
Yeah, Timbo Reed was he would wear like a bikini or like a brief bottom, I think, and then also like the top. What was that duathlete's name who had the long hair?
Oh, Dave knows it. He's a local guy here. Kenny Souza. Yeah. Okay. That's old school.
That's what I want to I want to do that. And then also right before I won't say anything else, but we're going to do a triathlon one day. And this might be like a Team Zoot thing we get behind too, is everyone's going to get, every pro triathlete who's in this race, it might be 10 of us. We're going to get $1,000 each. And you have to go buy all of your racing equipment at Walmart, show up the next day, and then the course is going to be just kind of revealed, and then you have to make your way through it on your gear that you've purchased.
Wait, $1,000? What am I going to do with all the rest of it?
You can get
what? That's a lot of money.
Right. You can buy a bulk of nutrition.
We should say like $300, $400.
You gotta allow us to at least buy all the bells and whistles and put some crazy contraptions, go to the hardware section and maybe do some engineering. Maybe you can buy a pellet gun. I don't know. In transition, in T1 and T2, you're also going to have those big Hulk boxing gloves at your station. So you could fight and beat up your people.
Your opponents, if you happen to be in transition with them.
Yeah, you can fight in transition with foam gloves. So we're going to do that.
Maybe we could do that coinciding with like the beer mile in Kona. That would be kind of a cool. Cool.
Yeah, I can crush a beer mile.
What's your fastest beer mile?
I don't know about the time. I think it was maybe like under 7 minutes, but I wasn't really prepared for it. But I can chug really fast. So if I could chug fast and also be in shape for it, I'd probably go at least low 5s.
And you're able to keep it down?
Yeah, that's the best part. I can chug it.
Maybe you and Joe Skipper, we could do it after Oceanside.
I think he's next level. I'd have to practice a lot.
Dude, you're going for friendly rivalry in Oceanside because you got Jackson Laundrie, who's a previous winner.
Yep.
Joe Skipper will be there, right?
Yep.
Who else? Dubrick, is he going?
Dubrick will be there. I don't think he's got little bird lips. I don't think he can chug well.
Who else? Yeah, he's got Dubrick. I'm gonna send him a text. Nick said he got little bird lips, bro. But they're cute. So So guys, thanks. So check out BiSaddle. I posted in the comments. If you guys don't have the updated PDF, what I suggest you do, please, and share it, because people are like, they ask all the time. Just save it maybe to your desktop browser, like your Chrome browser, just so you have it. We'll update those. If you guys are thinking about trying a new saddle, or if you have some discomfort, or everyone that I know that has tried the BiSaddle, I mean, not everyone, but like 98% of the people that have ever tried it have really liked it. And they have a really cool, like they'll take it. Like if you guys try it and it just doesn't work for you, then they have a really cool policy. Read it. But their stuff is cool, and they're always innovating. They'll have new stuff.
And if you have questions from folks who are actually riding them all the time, our entire team is riding them. And I've broken a lot of them in over the years. If you have questions, just ask me directly. I'd love to help anybody.
Yeah. And you guys, please follow these guys. I say this for all of our pros, but if you guys, I mean, these guys should have, we have 5,000. Okay. We have 5,000 people on Team Zoot. Okay. So let's say 1,000 of them don't have Instagram, right? Cause they're like I'm off social media, or they're old school or whatever, which is totally cool.
Don't blame them.
So all these people, like all you guys should have 4,000 followers extra. Like you guys should be, all of you guys on Team Zoot should be following all these athletes, because it's kind of fun to see what they're doing and to get the updates and whatever. And also, help support RTS Squad. Check out the custom store. It does close pretty soon. So check it out. And if you guys need some extra stuff, then, go for it. So.
Yeah, super awesome. Thank you, Mark.
All right, guys. Well, we will see everybody next Friday, and we have Walter from Garmin coming on the Facebook Live next Friday.
Walter.
Yeah, he's legit. Plus, he crushes on the bike. That guy's a masher. So he's gonna be talking about I think I want to talk mostly about the Neo 2 trainers coming out, and there's a new auto function coming on the Garmin watches, guys. So you don't have to like hit buttons in transition, which is really cool. And it may be out or it may not be out. So can you resend the link to the RTS store? Yes, I will send it right now. It is in the comments, but here it is again. Check it out.
Thanks
Troy.
for asking.
Yeah, Troy, what's up, dude? Hope all is well. Send my love down to the to the Williamson family in Utah. Also in Utah, you guys are both in Utah. That's gnarly. Maybe see each other on the road.
An hour or two of each other.
I know. All right, guys. Be safe. Do some hard stuff this weekend, and remember to smile. All right, we'll see you. We'll see you next week. Cheers.